In this episode, the search is on for the top 5 high demand locations in the New Jersey real estate market. We're going to dive into these. Some of them will come as no surprise. They're locations that I've covered already, not only as an individual town episode, but in some of the other top you fill in the blank episodes, they've been there. But a few of them are new to having features in one of these episodes. So if you are looking to identify what places do I need to avoid if I don't want to be in a situation where I'm in a bidding war, where I have to outcompete other buyers just to be able to get in and buy that property, this is something to take note of. Or if you're that buyer who wants to know what are the high demand places, because I need to know a little bit more about why they are in such demand and if that fits for my search criteria. And of course, if you're the homeowner, you absolutely want to know where these high demand locations are and how does it impact your value, even if you're not looking to sell now, but maybe down the road, or maybe you're going to hold your property and consider renting it. What is the demand for your location? So let's dive into that now. Join me for the ride. Welcome to New Jersey Living. My name is Corey Jones. I'm a licensed real estate agent in New Jersey with Coldwell Banker, team leader of the New Jersey Living Group, and host of New Jersey Living, the podcast. This channel endeavors to cover all things New Jersey, specifically the real estate market, the dining scene, social and entertainment venues, iconic locations. If any of these things interest you, definitely click like, subscribe, and the notification bell to stay updated on content like this that is coming your way on a weekly basis. If you're someone who are just starting your search journey, have a QR code for you with a buyer's guide, just an overview of the process. Click that code, get some insights there. If you need some assistance in your process, by all means, reach out. I have a Calendly link right here in the description. We can always schedule a call. Also for buyers, we have a QR code for those that are relocating to the Garden State. Some are coming from another region, some are coming internationally. That code is for you to get some insights on New Jersey. Homeowners, we have 2 for you as well. We have 1 for CMA, Know Your Value. Part of that conversation is going to be central today with looking at places of high demand. Get an idea of your value, even if you're not looking to sell right now. Could be 5 years from now, could be 20 years from now, but know your value today. Another QR code for homeowners is the cash offer QR code. If you are cash curious, would like to know what an investor would offer for your property today, definitely take advantage of that. No obligations whatsoever. You get the number, you know what it is for your own knowledge sake, or is something that you may want to entertain. So we're diving into the top 5 today. These are going to be sales. If you watched my episodes in the past, you know we often focus on recent sales. That gives us the most update and accurate information as to what properties are selling for. We know they're properties that are listed. Are they going above list price, below list price? How far above or below list price? How many days on market? All those things we can get when we look at the properties in terms of when did they sell, how much did they sell for. So we don't feature a lot of the current inventory in episodes like this, but take a look at my website. There's areas that you can plug in to go by address or general neighborhood to get an active inventory of what's available right now. And my site, unlike your Zillows and some other online resources, they don't screen out properties that have an accepted offer, not under contract yet, but are in attorney review. My website will screen those out. So here we are diving into this conversation about high demand. And with high demand, there are 5 locations that we are targeting. And my criteria specifically for this, we're in January right now, 2025. Already in 2025, I can tell you, at least from my business, there's been a very noticeable uptick of business in the new year. Very, very noticeable. Kind of gets quiet in December, as you can imagine, with the holidays. So I say weather, but right now it's colder weather now than it was in December, and it's still a lot of activity happening right now. But nonetheless, the holiday has an impact on the pace of things. We are going to look at 5 markets that, despite those factors of being holiday, we're going to go from December 1st all the way up into today. We're right at mid-January, January 16th right now, and we're going to look at the volume of activity, days on market, and the list price versus sale price ratios, right? So these markets have been and continue to be hot from summer all the way into winter. So let's go ahead and start with our first one now. So our first stop, we are going to take a look at a market that we have not done an individual feature on, but it definitely applies to this topic of high demand. We're starting in Parsippany Hills, Troy. This is in Morris County. It is just slightly north of Morristown and Morris Plains. Very much high demand. And as we scroll through, we're taking a look at the inventory here, and we see there's a total of 34 properties that have sold going back to December 1st. So we're looking at roughly a 45-day period. What we're paying attention to is, as we've done in the past, the sale price versus list price ratio, which is right in this far right-hand side column, and beside it, DOM stands for days on market. So we see that a lot of these days on market, they fall well below, many of them fall well below 40 days. So we see a good number of 30s. We see some of them that are in the teens. We see a few that are 40. There's an 83 up here, 56, 63, but most of them are not lasting very long on market. And looking at list price versus sale price, that's giving us an understanding if we're talking about something that went above, that's going to be 100 or higher. If it went below, it's going to be below 100. And the vast majority of these, of the 37, I can count really quick how many went below list price. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so 8 out of the 34 went below market. One of the reasons why such high demand for Parsippany Hills, Troy, gonna flash up the niche school ratings, and that tells part of the story. We have very, very high rated schools, right? So this is one of those areas that attracts a lot of buyers because they know there's going to be no real concern about where you're sending your children to school, and you don't have to really consider a private or parochial / religious school unless you just choose to, right? So this is a major factor and part of that demand. We're also looking at the list prices. Look at the list prices here. $350 all the way up to right at 1 million, $1 short of 1 million. All right. So, and that even sold above 1 million, but you get an idea that there's a pretty wide continuum, and these are all single family. I screened out, there are actually more properties on each of these lists that sold during the month, but I intentionally decided to focus exclusively on single family. All right, so not reflective of the entire market, but single family home. So for this particular location, we chose to go with 53 Iroquois Ave, and this is a single family 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. List price at $485, sold at $535, and we have total days on market has 18, has a couple admin days. Sometimes there was maybe a coming soon, something of that nature, but 18 days on market, didn't last very long. This is a home that, as we browse through the photos, looks very, very recently renovated or updated. Very recently. Sometimes the MLS will give us a date of when that renovation took place. I'll take a quick look at that as we browse through, just to look at the landscaping, look at, again, the interior certainly reflects, flooring and windows and kitchen that have been upgraded. And here did not give any renovation date in the MLS itself, but you can see for your own eye, with your own eyes, this was a very, very well upgraded home. Taxes under $7,000. That's a major, major appeal. All right, $6,699. Of course, that's for 2023. It may be a bit closer to $7,000 now. Affordable in that it's a $535,000 purchase, and gives a lot of the conveniences of what people look for. Is it super close to New York City? No. So we're not really focusing on the big three that I normally focus on. In this particular episode, we're strictly looking at what we know to be high demand and some of those reasons why. So that is number one. Again, new name. The next location is a name that you most certainly are very familiar with. Our number 2 location, and by the way, this is not a ranking order at all. This is simply me laying out the case for 5 locations, not one being, more demand than the other. This is a name that you're very familiar with in that we've had it featured in our most recent episode as one of the most affordable locations in New Jersey, which is part of the appeal in terms of demand. We're talking about Union, New Jersey, Union Township in Union County. So with Union, we're going to pull up that list right now. In Union, New Jersey, we are looking at, again, this is all single family. This is not including multifamily, which is not a major market in Union to begin with. And we're not including condo, townhome. These are all single families. 37 properties, again, going back December 1st until today. We see we're going to always start on that far right column, both days on market and list price to sell price ratio. So we're looking, I'm not going to actually count all of actually it's easy to count. There's not many that went below ask. So 1, 2, I believe it was 5, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 out of 37. Okay. 5 out of 37 went below list price. The rest were at or above. And our days on market, you can just kind of browse through. You had a few higher numbers there. You have a 70 and saw 2 of them that had 3 figures, but by and large, we're looking at 30s and below. These are properties that are moving very, very quickly. So we're going to flash Union's niche ratings up really quickly right now. You can see, again, they're very solid. It's a solid is always ranging with Union in that kind of B plus kind of range. So school systems that most people are not going to be concerned with. They're not going to be afraid of bringing their families to that kind of that rated of a school district. So in this location, we took a look at 245 Woodmont Road, which listed at $698,800 and it sold at $725, 7 days on market. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Tax number at $9,946, which means it is pretty close to, if not slightly over, $10,000 by now. So we look at this property. This is kind of a classic colonial type of home, single car garage that is attached. Inside, you see beautiful hardwood floors, definitely upgraded at some point. Central air system there, has HVAC, the recessed lighting. We see an upgraded kitchen. This is a turnkey property. All right. So this in Union for the number of beds, number of baths, finished basement. This is landing you in the low 7s. All right. So this gives you a taste of what that looks like in the demand. Again, if it's something where you say, hey, look, if a lot of people are going there, maybe I should pay attention. But others will say, I want to try and avoid it. Maybe schools are not an issue because maybe you are downsizing, or maybe you're just a family that you don't have school-age children, but you still want to be in an area that, has higher demand. And you don't mind maybe having to compete for that opportunity. Union, again, very much a viable choice. Our third location, another name that you should be very familiar with. I was there just a few weeks ago with part of the holiday festivities at the Turtleback Zoo, which is a really, really nice suburban zoo. Not going to be as large scale as some of your city zoos, but very, very nice. This is West Orange. So we've made trips to West Orange. West Orange is one of many towns and really a circle of Essex County, which in my opinion has some of the most beautiful storybook-like neighborhoods and streets that you can find. And I've been to many places throughout the state of New Jersey, and there are few places that give you the aesthetic when you drive through some of the roads of West Orange, South Orange, Maplewood, Montclair. These are just absolutely gorgeous places. So West Orange is a market we're looking at because we look at sheer number, and we are looking at single family homes only from December 1st. In a 45-day period, we're talking 37 homes that have sold in that time frame. We're looking again to the far right with our sale price list price ratio and our days on market. And we see, again, very, very few properties that are going below. So you're probably talking about 6 or 7. I'm not going to take time to count right now, but 30 plus of them were definitely at least at list, if not above. And again, you're seeing a lot of teens when it comes to the days on market, a few 20s scattered in, and then you have some larger ones scattered in 60s and 80s in terms of number of days. So West Orange, very competitive. Every client that I've had looking in West Orange market, and this is dating back, going back to COVID time frame, it's been a very competitive market. We flash up the niche dot rating for school ratings, highly rated schools. They're in the A rating. Sometimes it's been like an A minus, but they are a very solid performing school. I say this and not referencing the most recent grades, but this is going to be a very high performing school district. Home affordability compared to the neighboring town. So that's another reason why West Orange becomes a factor, because they have higher rated schools than Bloomfield, which Bloomfield is a more affordable location for the most part. But schools are not going to rate as high as West Orange. The neighboring towns of Montclair and in South Orange, Maplewood, or Soma, as we call it locally, those schools are going to be higher rated than West Orange. So Maplewood, South Orange, Montclair, those markets are very much premium markets in comparison to West Orange as the price point that you're going to have to pay. You're also factoring in you're in Essex County. So the tax number you're looking at, if you are outside of Newark, the tax number you're looking at in Essex County is going to be something that you have to be willing to prepare yourself for. So in the West Orange market, we are taking a look at a property that kind of fell in the middle of that list of 37. All right, so this is 3 Collimore, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. List price was $625, sold at $685, 29 days on the market. And let's see what the tax number. So the tax number is $13,500. All right, $13,500. Not outrageous, no, but again, it's not something that's going to be easy to swallow for many, especially if you're someone coming from outside the region shopping here in New Jersey for the first time. But this is something that when we look at the photos, this is a home that is very well maintained. We want to see like flooring and walls and kitchens, kind of give you an idea more of how recently has it been upgraded. It certainly has had an upgrade through the years. This is not reflective of a kitchen that hasn't been done since the 80s or anything like that, but this is very much a well-maintained home throughout all the photos that I'm seeing, and this reflects in part also that it was not going to last on the market very long. This is another example of where I see one of the bathrooms down. The vanity definitely is an older one. You see radiator heating. The radiators are right under the window. That was common in the construction of a lot of homes going back to the 1950s, 60s, and earlier. And then central air was put in later. So the vents that you see towards the ceiling reflect that there is central air, but the heating is still radiator, which some people favor. You know, it's to each his own. Finished basement, and finished basement looks to have like a laminate, if not engineered hardwood or PVC downstairs. So well organized, well maintained. This is case in point of something that is not going to last very long once it hits the market. So West Orange, another high demand location. This is that type of competition you can expect. And looking at the percentage on this one, because I did not do the math in my head on it, 10%. So it listed at $625, sold at $685, 10% above list price sale in this scenario. So now we're down to our final two. We're going to skip outside of that Essex County, Union County, Morris County area. Now we're going to take a trip down to Middlesex County. Our number 4 location of high demand. This is a location that we've had 3. I think we had 3 episodes that have filmed in this location. Addison, New Jersey, in Middlesex County. Consistently high demand. In part, if we're talking big 3, which I haven't featured for the other ones, but it's worthwhile talking about this one, checks off all of the big 3. First of them, there is in fact a local train station. So the big 3 is trains, schools, proximity to New York. Trains are check mark. Schools, we're going to flash up niche ratings right now. You can already see that Addison, very, very high school ratings. All right. Many people specifically target North Addison or North Addison schools. By and large, 08820 zip code. North Edison, they're going to be zoned for North Edison schools, which includes J.P. Stevens, one of the highest rated public high schools in the state. The other zip code 08817, because I have a listing right now that's under contract, that actually feeds into North Edison schools as well. So in this case, we are looking at the Edison market, and in the Edison market, 53, again, single family, did not include condo, did not include townhomes. This is strictly single family, 53 homes since December 1st. So 45-day period. We're looking at the list here. I'm going to scroll over. It's a different MLS, different format, but we're going to scroll over to our days on market. All right. So our days on market column here, we see a pretty wide range of scattering. We don't see as many teens proportionally as we did in some of the other locations, but all in all, you can see that still not many properties are lasting much longer than 40 to 45 days, right? So there are some exceptions, but we see that by and large, these are moving pretty quickly. Now, the property that we are going to take a look at for our Edison review of a recent sale is going to be 20 Nancy Circle. So 20 Nancy Circle, we're taking a look at photos here, and what the photos reflect very much is a property that is well maintained, has a carport, not a actual garage. See a condenser outside, so it has central air, and the general floor plan style is unique to homes that are often found in Middlesex County. So many of these were built in the 60s, 70s. I don't even know what to call these necessarily because it's so unique, but you can see that there have been some upgrades to this property over time, right? So this is an area where it's always getting demand. Big three, we talked about train station. Yes, there's a train station in Edison. We talked about schools, and then we're talking about proximity to New York City. So Edison is very close to Island, neighboring right there with Island, which is part of Woodbridge. That train station there is Metro Park, major hub for New Jersey transit. It's a 37-minute train to get into Manhattan. That's the express, 37-minute train. Edison does have its own train station as well. Very close proximity. Driving, you still could drive to Manhattan be right around that hour mark, because again, you're by the Turnpike, you're by the Garden State Parkway. There's easy access to get to and from the city. So for this reason, many people choose to call Edison home and to pursue Edison as an option for buying here in New Jersey. So this is definitely one of, if I had to put ranking wise, it would be up there probably in the top 3 for sure. Now to our final 5th location, high demand, what we are seeing pretty much on a consistent basis that even survived the winter slowdown is Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Fair Lawn is another location, definitely hits the big 3 criteria in terms of proximity, school rating, and train station. Now, Fair Lawn, let's take a look at the market inventory here. Total of 26 properties, again, all single family that have sold in the market. We're looking, in this case, the column is more towards the left in terms of days on market. We'll have to, the list price, sale price ratio does not show on this given format. This is New Jersey, NJMLS. But we can see days on market. So days on market, you can see there is a variation. In some cases, you see a couple 3-digit, you see a couple that are over, say, 60-day, but you can see the majority are at that 40-day or less kind of time frame. And this one, we're going to take a look at one of the more affordable options that sold on the market. This is 10-14 3rd Street. And this is a 4-bedroom, 1 bath, and this is a Cape. It's a smaller home. So from a square footage standpoint, it's not something that's going to really be large and spacious and jump out at you in that regard. Smaller home, but again, you're buying in an area that gives you a really solid return on your investment, and that it's always in demand. All right, so here we're gonna take a look at the tax number 7,641, and let's see some of these photos for 3rd Street. So again, a smaller home. I can see radiator heating here, And they certainly had some recent paint, and floors have been redone at some point in time. Radiators, I'm looking for vents if by chance there is central air. I didn't browse through the narrative just to be sure, but it doesn't appear to be. Basement unfinished, but you can see all of the studs in terms of the floor joists. That I do appreciate. And when you do enough inspections and doing this inspection on your home, it's nice to be able to see, when I say your home, you're a buyer in that case, it's nice to be able to see the floor joists and the condition that they're in. Laundry down there in the basement, driveway, and it appears to be detached garage in the back. Yes, that garage not very large, so probably more so for storage unless you have a really small car. All right, backyard. All right, so this is reflected at a sale price of $520. So listed just under $500, $499, $990. Sold $520, and days on the market 22 days on market. So this is giving you a little bit of a taste of what those high demand areas are. If you are someone who's up for the fight, this is what you're looking at in these kind of markets with overall volume in a down season. As we enter into April, May, June, those numbers are definitely going to go up. Inventory numbers will be higher, but we're going to be very soon in the peak of our buying season. So again, from a buy standpoint, you might be one who says, I want to avoid it. You may be one who says, I'm up for the fight because I want to be in locations that provide these amenities, these features, these types of benefits that make me want to be a resident of that community. So again, buyers, if you are in your process, need a little insight, I'm gonna throw up buyer's guide once more for you. I'm also gonna throw up relocation guide for those that are coming in the area. And homeowners, one more time for you, we're gonna throw up QR code for CMA, know your value. If you are in one of these towns, absolutely, I would check every year. Is my value going up 10% year over year? Is it 14% year over year? I want to know, you should know if you're living there or even in a neighboring town, just to understand how does that impact your value. All right. And if you are cash curious, just want to know what a cash offer looks like, QR code for you. All right, so thanks again for joining us for this particular episode. Hopefully you had some great information, informative insights that came your way. Definitely drop some comments in the comment section. This is a community where we welcome discourse. So do share some thoughts, share some insights, share some experiences. And until then, we will meet again next week. So stay safe and stay tuned to New Jersey Living.